Director of Lands and Resources. I'm here with Lawrence Martin, the Mushkegowuk Marine Region Manager, and we're both here to talk about the conservation work that we are pursuing within the Winnebago region of the Mushkegowuk territory. As you can see on the map, we are talking about the western coast of James and Hudson Bay. We are working with 9 First Nation communities in pursuing this work, 7 of which are part of the Mushkegowuk Tribal Council, and the furthest communities to the north, as you can see the yellow dots there, Fort Severn First Nation and Winisk First Nation, and they have both agreed to work with us in pursuing this project. So the proposed project is to establish a First Nations-led national marine conservation area within this region, recognizing the inherent rights of our ancestral territory as protectors and stewards of our lands and waters. But because this work is so enormous, we've asked NGOs to assist us in this work going forward. And we're working closely with Oceans North, Wildlands League, with funding support from Oceans Collaborative in pursuing this work. Over the years, the Mushkegowuk have recognized that this region, the James and Hudson Bay, which we call the Winnebago, is a priority area for conservation. And in this climate of the political climate, we feel that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work in partnership with Canada to conserve the marine environment and to showcase it to the world. As you know, Canada has joined 30 countries in the High Ambition Coalition for Nature and People, committing to protecting 25% of its lands and waters by 2025. Increasing to 30% by 2030. And in Prime Minister's own words, he says, the way we are going to do it is by working with Indigenous peoples who are our partners in protecting the land and who understand how important it is to be good stewards of the lands and waters that sustain us. And at this point, I'm going to hand it over to my co-worker, Lawrence Martin. Yeah, good day.
All right, thank you, Vern. As we can see from this map here, there's already activities taking place within the James Bay area. And over to the east side, EOSG Quebec Crees, they already have a memorandum of understanding for a feasibility study for a national marine conservation area, NMCA. And that's for the EO Marine region on the eastern side of James Bay. And then there's also activities taking place in the Hudson Bay area further to the north of us. And these are currently efforts being made also towards a potential NMCA in Western Hudson Bay. I believe that's being headed by Parks Canada and other groups. The area that we're talking about would be on the western side of James Bay and all the way up to Fort Severn, up to the Manitoba border. And we feel as a Mushkegowuk people, we are well positioned to have our own NMCA to complete the protection of the rest of Winnebago and to extend portions of the protection to Pewanak and Fort Severn area, as I mentioned. So this area has been very lively of all kinds of different types of life. And of course, our people that have been here since time immemorial, having unique languages and cultures. And then we have also year-round beluga habitats. And nowadays we have the most southern population of polar bears in the world. We have over 170 species of geese, ducks, and shorebirds, and extremely fertile waters, a great source of life. So our Winnebago is globally significant. That's what we see and we understand. So through this initiative, we will exercise self-government, self-reliance, and inherent rights to ancestral territory as protectors and stewards, especially as the climate changes and use and traffic in Winnebago increases. We will protect entire coastal and marine ecosystems that underpin the Mushkegowuk way of life, harvesting, ceremonial rites, sacred sites, travel routes, and monitoring the health of the territory. And we will ensure transmission of traditional knowledge, such as wild food harvesting, preparation, and medicine to the future generations. The traditional uses, it's an important part to keep within this process, this project. Therefore, the Mushkegowuk NMCA would be established using Mushkegowuk traditional laws and supported by federal laws of Canada. The NMCA will be designed to maintain Mushkegowuk access and use for traditional and harvesting activities, inherent treaty and land claim rights, and to protect what matters most for future generations. And this would be consistent with what our elders remember the treaty commissioners saying back in 1905, and I quote, that they were allowed as of yore to hunt and fish as they pleased. To us, that means we've always going to be able to keep our traditions alive, and that was written back in 1905 by the Ontario Commissioner, Dan Martin. So our next steps is to establish a task force. It's a panel of community members to advise the process, and then we'll have internal engagement with communities, and then we will negotiate with Canada a memorandum of understanding respecting an assessment of the feasibility of establishing an MCA in the Mushkegowuk region. And more next steps is that we will be working with the communities to determine how inland the boundary for the study area could go to include river mouth, tidal areas, coastline, and muskeg. And we'll be working with our task force every step of the way. And of course, this is a project of collaboration. We see collaboration taking place with Inuit, Quebec Crees, and with Nunavik Inuit when appropriate. So we're open to doing that sort of thing. And we just want to acknowledge and give thanks for the support of Oceans North and Wildlands League for the work that they're doing, and also the Oceans Collaborative. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Wate.